I'm Ryan Green,
And I'm Zach Taylor.
and together we are
Commander
Commander Social.
Social.
We tried it.
Yeah,
Hopefully, it turned out
yeah,
okay.
it's hard to get it right when you're live streaming.
All right, so welcome everybody to our free preview cards from Wizards of the Coast. Thank you so much, Wizards of the Coast, for giving this to us. This is insane. We get to be the first in the world to share this with you guys. So, welcome all in chat, and that should go for the people that are listening to this at home. We're gonna try to make this like a full episode. It's gonna be kind of a live, recorded in front of a live studio audience. So we're doing that
Yeah,
thing.
I'm super excited, and who knows what surprises may or may not happen.
All right. So that's going to move us right on into the next little bit, right?
I believe that's correct. Doing that thing we do every week, thanking our listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for listening and viewing. It means the world to us that you would do that, and thank you everyone, especially who's here for the live stream. It means the world to us that you'd show up. So thank you so much. There's so much stuff you can be doing with your time, and this is why you do it.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, really, thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you, and we wouldn't. And um, we want to go ahead and move on into our patron stuff.
Yep.
So, if you want to check us out on Patreon, we're at patreon.com/commander social. And we've got a patron of the week.
Patron of the week. It's Anton Clement.
Hey, Anton. Hopefully, you're out
Hey.
there. He's at All Hail Bolus on Twitter.
Yep. His name should be on the screen, but is not. That is my bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you know what? It's a live show. This stuff is
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yep. But yep. Just
Oh, look,
keep it-
Mothership's in there. Hey,
Hey.
All
What
right.
is up? So
So we've got a Patreon contest, right?
we do. We do every month, except for last month. This month for our Patreon contest, you take a picture of your coolest, craziest board state and send it to us in a message on Patreon, and we'll pick the best one to win a stained glass Nahiri foil from War of the Spark that I'm straight up not re-gifting from a secret lair because Boros is the worst.
Oh, but you know what? I know that you love Nahiri deep down in your heart. I know you do.
I mean,
Um,
is Nahiri the one on Stoneforge Mystic?
yeah, she's a core.
Well,
That's her race.
does that core specifically Nahiri though?
I don't know. I think there's
TH.
maybe some rumors, maybe, but I think it's true.
Okay, because I like that Nahiri. That Nahiri. That's my
Okay.
favorite Nahiri. So,
Okay, so that's our Patreon contest.
Yep.
So we don't want to leave out our Twitter folks, right? So you can find me
can-
on Twitter at Green Geek.
You can find me at Z4CK38, and together we're at Commander Social. So, if we're going to have a Patreon contest, we're also going to have a Twitter contest. It's pretty much the same thing.
Except for it's a different prize.
Yeah, that's true. It is a different prize. So if you follow us at Commander Social on Twitter, retweet this month's tweet, which I'm be straight up honest has not gone out yet, and reply with a picture or screenshot of your craziest board state. One of the posters will be randomly chosen to win three packs of Theros Beyond Death.
Yeah, usually we have a whole bunch of time between when we record this and when the tweet has to go up. So this is different.
Yep, sure is. It's a different time. So,
All right. So Zach, what's been going on in your personal life, man?
man, I decided I'm gonna have my own hashtag. It's 38 Z4CK 38. That was to someone asking a question.
Yeah, in chat, Danogster said, "Is it 38 or 48?"
I mean, let's be real. I'm lucky that I just straight up remembered to say that part. So anyway, this week I've decided that if Ryan's gonna have hashtag MTG Dad, I'm gonna have hashtag Zach Life. So this week in MTG or hashtag Zach Life, my moment is I'm staying with my mom and during this, and I get to see my niece and nephews like almost every day, and it's amazing. And I'm really glad I get to have that time with them. And yesterday we made capes and masks and did became our own superheroes.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's sweet. I'll have to. I should have brought my cape in here to show, but I was Hawk guy, like Hawkeye, but like in a comic they call him Hawk Guy, and they were all yelling their superhero names, and I was like Hawk Guy, but apparently I was
Caca!
not right. And I was like doing a thing where I was like shooting a bow and arrow, and my mom and sister thought I was saying hot guy, like hot
Oh.
HAWT guy. I was like, no, Hawk Guy, not hot guy. But I thought that was pretty funny.
Por que no los dos?
Exactly. What about you, Ryan? What's been going on in your personal life?
All right. Well, it's time for your hashtag MTG dad moment here on the show. And this one is for all of you folks staying at home and dialing into meetings, right? So my son is being potty trained right now. And the way that goes down is he gets to run around the house with no pants and no diaper on, right? We get to encourage him to be ready to go at a moment's notice into the toilet. Let us know as soon as he feels the urge. But that has resulted in some rather interesting moments, shall we say, on work meetings. I have a lot of meetings, and
way to brag about it.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, I'm in meetings all the time. But
I'm a business person.
What's your business? None of your business. But the point is, my daughter's like running around, and I'm dialed into a work phone call, and just in the background, all of my coworkers are just hearing penis, penis, penis. Don't touch me with your penis, penis. Like, because he's running around with his penis out. So that's a real thing that happens, and that is real life now. So. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cute story, and it involved both my kids and our current situation. So
right, and I have nothing to comment.
Hashtag topical.
Right, I have nothing to comment because also hashtag topical. I haven't been there in the longest in like several years.
Yeah, it does feel that way, doesn't it?
It does. It's nuts. So that moves us on to some thanks. We have a bunch of thanks this episode. Ryan, you want to take the first one?
Oh, definitely. All right. Well, we got to give a huge shout out to Mike Condon, our silent partner. You help us out every week, and it's insane and it's amazing. And he's in chat right now, which is awesome.
He's a scholar and a gentleman.
And a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to thank him for all of his help, as well as for these nifty pins that we got going on here.
Those are pretty sweet, dude. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, you should have a couple. But yeah, so we just wanted to show those off to folks that maybe haven't seen them before.
Yeah.
And thanks, Mike, for that. And let's see, you got the next one?
Yep.
You want me to do the next one?
We're thinking TH, the intern, small hands, big brain. He definitely helped us do some research for some sweet cards to go with the cards we're gonna preview here shortly. And then we got the last one, Ryan.
All right. Well, we want to thank our Ginge turn, Ginger Joe. He's in the chat room moderating right now, and he helped us set up and test out the streaming setup. So Joe and Elliot and Mike, your support is amazing. Thank you so much, really, from the bottom of our hearts.
For sure.
And it's so cool because they're getting to hear it live right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is awesome.
It is.
So that means it's time to go into a segment that we like to call Commander Rules. Pretty close, right? I don't know. That's probably all right. Okay.
So what do we got today, Ryan?
All right. So we are going to go over this. This is kind of a first for the show.
Okay.
We're going to go over Mutate, which is a new mechanic in Ikoria, and there's no comprehensive rule for it yet, or if there are, it's not in my app. So I'm just going to kind of read some stuff from the webpage.
I mean, this is like me. It's like when you find a broken vial of green stuff and you just get into it and turn into a turtle person.
Yeah, mutagen. That's the word you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I have actually heard my daughter, oh no, April's in the mutagen, right? Like
nice.
They watch like
nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it brings back, but it's it's the new one.
I like the new one. I think the new one's pretty decent.
It is really good. Okay, so let's talk about Mutate. All right. So Mutate is a mechanic, and I'm going to read what it is. So it's all on creatures, and there's a cost associated with it. So I'm looking at Cloud Piercer right here. This is from the link. for the main magic rules. And Cloud Piercer is 4 in a red for a 5/4 with reach, and it has mutate for 3 in a red, so 1 mana discount. So here's
Okay.
the interesting bit. If you cast the spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under something we like to play over or under.
Yep.
Target non-human creature you control or own. Um, they mutate into the creature on top plus all the abilities from underneath it.
Interesting. Interesting.
And Cloud Piercer says whenever this creature mutates, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So it's pretty cool. There's 2 ways to cast the spell. You can cast it normally, or you can like put it on top of or underneath the creature. And I watched the video on it, and the basic gist is, barring some really crazy circumstances, you really want to put the creature with the best stats on top because all the abilities are together.
Makes sense.
Right? So do you have questions for me, Zach? Because I feel like you might.
I do. So what happens if someone kills, or so do they become 1 card at that point? Or are they still separate cards and you can kill one and not the other, sort of like aura style? Like if you kill the one, like maybe if you kill the top one, the bottom one disappears because it doesn't have a target or something weird. Like, I don't know. What's the deal, Ryan?
Yeah, like so like basically like if they're riding on each other's shoulders and you take out the bottom one.
Yeah.
One
So like
down.
it's like that time that we were in the pool and I was on your shoulders and then someone like gut punched you or ninja chopped you.
Yeah.
And I
we
fell
both
over.
went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the answer is if you kill the creature, it's it's 1 creature that it's dead, right? However, there's a neat thing happening here, which is like, let's say you cast a mutate creature and they use Doomblade on the thing that you're going to mutate on top of or underneath of, right? It'll just come into play as its normal self.
Interesting.
So it's not like a bestow or something like that.
Okay. So if I want to get super crazy and I want to cast something for mutate, if it's the mutate's less, I can cast for its mutate cost onto something and then be like Doomblade on that. Well, honestly, I guess at that point you're probably not saving mana or a card. That seems like a poor choice.
Okay, so the interesting question is, how does it work with creature types? That was asked by Greg Noth in our he's one of our patrons, right? That's Craig Thoreauin, right? And I believe the example here says
I think it becomes all of them.
No, I think it's just the one on top. It's literally the one on top with the abilities underneath, right? So Cloud Piercer resolves, you put Cloud Piercer on top, in which case you end up with a 5/4 red dinosaur.
Okay.
So yeah, it only takes the creature type of the one on top.
Interesting.
All right. Oh, and we've got Judo Chop from Ginger Joe in the chat. I love it. Judo Chop. All right. So that's your commander rules. You got any more questions about this, Zach?
I don't think so. I think I mostly understand it. I'm sure I'll screw it up in a game or two.
Yeah, it's a really neat mechanic. So one of the things that they actually show in the video, so just like I'll touch on this a little quick and then we'll get out of here, move on to the fun stuff. But you can have multiple creatures, like you can have 3, 4, 5 stacked, and it's always the creature on top, but all the abilities underneath matter. So you can create like this ginormous like mega Godzilla type thing, and a lot of them can have like when this creature mutates, and they all trigger, right? So you can just like stack up all of your mutate creatures and get like a whole bunch of things. So I don't know, something that's going to be pretty neat to play in limited. So
I think so, yeah.
Sounds like and possibly like I think it's totally fine in Commander as well, right? Like
yeah, for sure. Like I definitely I'm gonna build that into some of my decks. Well, at least I'd like to.
Mothership said, "I'm gonna play Animal Crossing until you show me some cards." I love it.
I mean,
okay.
I'm secretly doing that too.
Okay, so that's Commander rules. Actually, Mothership, you're gonna like this next.
Yeah.
Slide,
Speaking of the Mothership, if you're looking to buy some cards, they now have an online store, and we have some special codes for our listeners, which we tweeted about it the other day. But yeah, you can get on there and get some stuff. They got Ikoria stuff on there. Oh, I'm sorry, is it Ikoria?
Like, I believe it's Ikoria. Like
okay, I'm like Icky.
Like yeah, Iker. Icor. I could be wrong. You know what? I'm in my own head now. I have no idea, but I'm just gonna say Ikoria.
Sounds good. I like it. So yeah.
So we should say the codes here, right? Because this will eventually be an audio only episode.
Oh yeah.
So you should check out store.mothershipatx. That's how we talk about often. .com indeed, and you can do social ship in all caps to get free shipping on orders of $50 or more, and you can do social 10 for 10% off of in-stock Magic singles.
Right.
So there you have it, like official sponsors and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
thank you, Mothership, and we are really like excited that your virtual store is available. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, these codes are good until the end of April. So after April, I don't know. We'll see.
Stuff gonna change.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you should definitely go check out store.mothershipatx.com. You know, these are interesting times.
Yep.
And you know, you really need to support your local game store if you can.
Yep.
And you know, I myself have already pre-ordered a box of Ikoria, and I'm gonna go buy all the commander decks as well, obviously.
Yep.
So and I'm gonna try to buy some seals too. In fact, actually, I'm looking at a Cryptolith right in particular, but maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
it is time for our main topic.
Oh yeah, main topic. So, are we gonna talk about anything here, or we just want to get straight into it, Ryan?
Well, okay, we want to give a huge shout out again to Wizards for giving us these free preview cards.
Absolutely, thanks so much.
I mean, honestly, like, this is like the dream. Okay,
For
like
sure.
Getting to share this with the world is insane. Getting to see all the people in chat and get really distracted by reading it is fantastic. And we got some really cool cards. And huge shout out again to TH, the intern, for basically doing the research for us and helping us find cards to talk about, and then coming to us with a list, and then we culled it down and came up with some stuff and brainstormed, and it was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So Elliot, thank you so much. I guess it's time. Are you ready?
Yep. Are you ready to hit him with this first one? You gonna read it, or you want me to read it?
You know what? I'll read the first one. Or do you want to? I don't care.
I don't care either.
Okay.
Let's roll a die. Chat, what do y'all want? Who do y'all want to read the first one?
Good call.
Hype's not an option.
Okay, you know what? Just go ahead and hit him with it, ZT.
All right.
Get it on the screen and I'll read it.
Let's do it. Here it is.
Twitch delay. Martial Impetus. All right, so this is 2 and a white for an enchantment aura and an enchanted creature, and enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. All right, and so goaded means it must attack each combat if able, and it must attack not you or a planeswalker you control. And whenever enchanted creature attacks, each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So there you have it, Martial Impetus. World, welcome to the Martial Impetus. What do you think?
I think this is good. Like, I think there's a lot of pretty sweet things that could go well with this card. I don't know. Like, you can use it on yourself, one of your creatures or one of their creatures. Like, I think it's pretty versatile, and I think it's pretty good.
All right. So we've got some cards to talk about. So, we should also mention, just for the people in chat, this is one of 4 cards. We got 4 to talk about.
Yeah, we got 4 cards.
So that's insane, right? And somebody in chat it's TH is asking, is this part of a cycle? And I believe it is, because I saw a red card preview today that's 2 and a red, and it gives +2/+2 and maybe menace. I'm not sure, but and it's goaded, and you get a treasure token whenever something attacks. So
well, you way answered more than me. I was just gonna be like, your mom's part of a cycle.
All right, okay. So what cards go good with this? What do we got?
We got Marisi, Breaker of the Coil.
Okay.
1 red, green, white for a legendary creature, Cat Warrior. It's a 5/4 that says your opponents can't cast spells during combat. Sweet. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, goad each creature that player controls. Also pretty good. What do you think there, Ryan?
I like it. I like it. It's a deck that could absolutely play this card. Also, there's a question in chat from Craig that was saying, is this in the commander decks or the main set? These are all from the commander products. So, and I'm not sure which deck they're in, right? But these are Commander 20 previews. So, there you have it. Okay, so let's talk about Marisi, the Breaker of the Coil, right?
Yeah.
Goading all of the creatures is really insane with this card, right? Because the whole idea is the creature you enchant is forced to attack, right? That creature's goaded, but nothing else is, right? And so what you really want to do is get them into that red zone, right?
Yeah.
You want to have all of your opponent's creatures attacking everywhere but you.
But you.
And getting bigger, right? Like forcing them to get that +1/+1 bonus. So I think that's really cool. Disrupt Decorum is pretty similar, right? This is going
Yeah.
to be another way to just get all of your opponent's creatures goaded. And this is going to be especially awesome if you've got a token deck in your
Generator,
play
yeah.
group or in your meta, because that +1 anthem going everywhere is pretty sweet, right?
Yep.
Should I read Disrupt Decorum? I guess I did.
Yeah,
It's
I guess
goad
we
all
should.
creatures you don't control, and it's 2 red for a sorcery.
Sorcery. So you can't do it. I don't know. You can't do it instant speed. All right, you ready for the next ones, Ryan?
Oh, sure.
All right. We've got Hunted Dragon. It's a 3 red creature dragon, 6/6 with flying and haste that says when Hunted Dragon enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3 2/2 white knight creature tokens with first strike. And then Hunted Phantom is 1 blue for a creature spirit 4/6 that says Hunted Phantom is unblockable. I'm sorry, Hunted Phantasm is unblockable. When Hunted Phantasm comes into play, put 5 1/1 red goblin creatures tokens into play under target opponent's control.
Okay, so before we discuss these hunted cards, there's a very important question in chat right now, Zach, and that is, Zach, would you play this card in your Secret Boros deck?
This card?
The card we're previewing.
Oh, I mean, if such a thing existed, probably.
It wouldn't be a secret if you talked about it, though, would it?
No, exactly. That's why. Okay, I do have a secret. I have a secret Boros deck. You know what's in that Boros deck? Well, it's a box. It's one of those commander. I mean, CFB boxes, right?
Okay.
Do you know what card? There's one card in it right now. Do you know what it is?
Is it Sunforger?
Yes, it is.
That's a good one. I wish you could play that as your commander. Okay.
Yep.
So let's talk about why the hunted cards are good, right? It's pretty clear, but giving your opponent's creatures is something that you want to do with this card, right? Because the more creatures they have, the more chance they can get that buff. And these are going to be really good in games where there's kind of like an archenemy thing happening.
Yeah.
Right? Where, one of the 4 players is off to an early lead. And so you can team up and be like, hey, I'm going to give you these white knights or these goblins, and I'm going to goad your creature too. Let's just get them, Yep. And the other thing is, so here's what happens in games of Commander. People like getting value. Okay. That is a real deal. And so when they're like, well, I could attack Ryan with these other creatures, then I'd hit him for like 3, or I could attack Zach and get him for 6. I want that value. I want to get Zach, right?
Yeah,
like
I
want to take down Zach's life total. Like I get to deal 6 damage. This is better than 3.
Yeah.
So I find that happening often. And I think that's good. So what else we got for this card?
Let's see. Varchild, Betrayer of Kieljor. It's a 2 and a red for a legendary creature human knight, 3/3. Whenever Varchild, Betrayer of Kieljor deals combat damage to player, that player creates that many 1/1 red survivor creature tokens. Survivors your opponent control can't block, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. When Varchild leaves the battlefield, gain control of all survivors.
Okay, so this card is like basically giving them tokens that are goaded already, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to attack, but they can't attack you, and they can't block your stuff, right?
Right.
So that's pretty insane, right? Like just give them a bunch of tokens, and hopefully they're swinging in with the anthem and like getting your opponents doing your dirty work.
Yeah,
right? Like
basically.
that's what I love about this card.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you put, they already can't do, but if you, put the Marshall and Petros on it or whatever, like that's gonna incentivize them to go elsewhere and get that anthem.
All right, so we've got another card to talk about here.
This one?
It should be on the next slide, right? Yeah, Forbidden Orchard. All right. So this is a land that taps for any color mana. And whenever you tap Forbidden Orchard for mana, put a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token into play under target opponent's control. I love this card. I run it in a lot of decks. It's really cool because you can do a lot of political things with it. If somebody's going to attack like one of your allies, you can like instant speed, give them a blocker. In this deck, it's doing exactly what the hunted creatures are doing. So I don't know. I think it's pretty sweet. What do you think, Zach?
I think it's super sweet. Like I wish that Forbidden Orchard isn't being reprinted. I think that's what they're saying in chat. I like this card. Like,
Oh yeah. So let's not be confused. Right now, we're talking about
yeah,
cards that go well with martial impetus.
yes,
So
martial impetus
yeah,
is the
if
card.
there's confusion, apologies for
Sorry
that.
about that. Yeah, and these are the cards that we think go great with it. Um, but yeah, I wish the spirit had flying. Like that would be nice.
Oh, that
But
would actually like I would never want to play that in a in a like a one-on-one situation, but it'd be even better in a multiplayer thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
for
for sure.
sure, for sure. So I believe that brings us up to our next card, does it not?
Yeah, you know what? I guess this one's yours, man. Take it away.
All right. Here we go. Are you guys ready in chat? Cool. This is Verge Rangers. They cost 2 and a white for a 3/3 creature human scout. I hear humans are real important in this set. So Verge Rangers has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as an opponent controls more lands than you, you may play lands from on top of your library. And it says you can only play a land this way if you have a available land play remaining. So you can't use this to ramp into a second land each turn. But I think there's a lot of cool things that can go with this. What do you think, Ryan?
Okay, this card is spicy, y'all.
Yeah.
This is a rare,
Yep.
which means it's going to be in one of the decks. And it's a 3 mana 3/3 first strike, so already that's totally fine. This is a
Oh,
way to get
oh,
what? Go ahead.
I just realized something.
What's that?
I was like, all these sweet cards that we've been looking at in our previews, they're in the decks. I'm not gonna have to like be like, oh, opening packs or buying singles. I'm just gonna get these cards. Sweet,
Yep.
sweet
And you can too if you go visit the mothership and pre-order some Ikoria, commander decks. Like, go
stuff.
check it out.
Do it.
So this card is insane. Like
Yeah.
this is the card white needed, right? It's the card white deserves or whatever. It's a way to get ramp, right? It's essentially a way to ramp in the fact that like you're not actually ramping, but you can't always have a land drop, and this is going to ensure you hit your land drops every turn.
Yep.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
I think this card is super exciting. Like,
Yeah, I think it's
when
real good.
when I got to open the email and look at this, I was like, oh man, this card's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the first one that I saw, and I thought it was an uncommon. I was like, how is that an uncommon? Like, jeez, this thing's insane.
okay. So to clarify, the next cards we talk about until we tell you it's a preview card are going to be cards that we think go well with the Verge Rangers. So I think we're ready to move on to talking about some of those.
Yep. The first two are Sensei's Divine Top and Scroll Rack. Sensei's Divine Top toss 1 for an artifact that says 1. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. And tap, draw a card, then put Sensei's Divine Top on top of its owner's library.
And Scroll Rack is a 2 mana artifact with 1 in tap. Choose any number of cards in your hand and set those cards aside. Put an equal number of cards from the top of your library into your hand. Then put the cards set aside in this way on top of your library in any order. So the basic gist of these are ways to manipulate the top card of your library, right? It's a way to guarantee that you've got a land on top when
Yep.
you don't have a land in hand to play, so that you're very much guaranteed to get your land drops every turn. These cards are great. They're kind of pricey.
They are.
But these are the kinds of things you want to run when you've got these kind of things that care about the top of your library. So
I think too, like if you're playing white, I think if you're looking for like a cheaper effect or cheaper cards that do this, you could use preordain or any of those sort of cantrip B sort of things to manipulate the top of your library.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, top
Hey,
is reprinted. Surprise. No,
Tim
not really.
Tim Rayburn joined the channel.
Oh, what's up,
Welcome,
Trayburn?
Tim.
Party people.
Okay, so we've got a couple more cards.
I just read this from Mothership. Yes, please recommend expensive cards.
All right,
Just
so
too
what
much
you're gonna
Ross.
want to get is the Arabian Nights City of Brass. It's really important to get
Best
that
one.
version. Okay, so what do we got next? We got a couple cards, right?
Yep, they mostly do the same thing. We've got Path to Exile and Winds of Abandon.
All right. Which one do you want?
I want Winds.
Okay, Path to Exile is a single white mana, and it's an instant. Exile target creature. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card and put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle their library. One of the best removal spells ever printed, right?
Yep.
It's right up there with Swords of Plowshares.
And one of the best ways to give your opponent an extra land so you have less.
That's exactly the point.
Yep.
These cards help you manipulate the number of cards or number of land cards your opponents have, so you can very much guarantee getting there with the Verge Ranger. So Zach, hit him up with the Winds of Abandon.
Winds of Abandon is 1 and a white for a sorcery. It says exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land card. Those players put those cards in the battlefield tapped and shuffle their libraries. Overload for 4 white, which means instead of exile target creature, it's target wait, let's see what's
it's each creature you don't control.
Yeah, each creature you don't control. So that's a board wipe for 6. Pretty
Yep.
good.
So here's the deal. Okay, somebody at the table is probably gonna be rampant anyway,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like that's gonna be. I mean, like if I'm there at the table and there's green in my deck, I'm probably ramping.
Same.
You may not even need to worry about cards like this to go with the Verge Rangers, but they're good cards and they're single target in both cases, unless you overload, and then it's a whole board wipe. And now everybody's got a ton of lands, and you're gonna just catch right up. And the best part about catching right up when you're playing those lands off the top of your library is you're drawing gas now.
Yeah.
Right. Every land that you play off the top of your library is a land you didn't have to draw.
Right. I would definitely rather play one off the top from my hand. So
I mean that like there's hidden power there that like, a lot of people don't necessarily see. It's like, oh well, yeah, it's like I drew a land. Well, yeah, you drew a land, and you also like are now not going to draw land next turn, right? So what's next? What are we talking about next? We're still on Verge Rangers, by the way. These are still not reprinted cards.
Yep.
And again, we want to thank Wizards for giving us these previews for free. It was really, really a big deal. And I think, just like seeing the way chat is excited right now, the whole world is going to see some of it later when they get to hear the recording. So, all right. So we've got a couple of cards up here. So if the previous slide was ways to make your opponents have more lands, these are ways to make yourself have less lands.
Yeah.
I'll take the first one. It's Sylvan Safekeeper. This is a single green mana for a 1/1 wizard, and sacrifice a land. Target creature you control can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. So basically Shroud, right? And you can sack that land as many times as you want to. And so if you've got a land on top of your library, but nobody's got more lands than you could drop down one, play the land off the top of your library, and then like ensure that you're not going to draw that land next turn. Yeah. You may not always want to do this, but it is definitely something possible. And I think the next one is probably one of the spiciest cards that TH found. I am blown away by this. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. The next one is Aura Fracture, and it's 2 and a white. I almost said blue for some reason for enchantment. It says sacrifice a land, destroy target enchantment. That's pretty good. I feel like that should be in my Kenrith deck, right? You just sack a land and you destroy enchantments. And on Commander Social, we definitely practice and preach the run enchantment removal. So
enchantments are the hardest type of permanent to
they
destroy.
are.
So really this card is fantastic, and it's instant speed. You can do it whenever, and I don't know. I think it pairs nicely. The next find here is pretty sweet. This is Trade Routes. It's 1 and a blue for an enchantment. 1: return target land you control to its owner's hand. 1: discard a land card, draw a card. So with this and the Verge Rangers in play, you can kind of do this dance where you're like, okay, everybody's got 5 lands. I'll pick one up, and then I'll look and see what the top card of my library is. And it's not a land. Okay, I'll discard this land to draw the card off the top of my library, and then look, it is a land. Cool, play it. Right? Yep. Because your deck's roughly 40% lands for the most part, maybe 38, whatever. So if you're looking at 2 or 3 cards a turn, you're gonna hit a land, on average.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, you ready for what's next?
Oh, always. Wait, is next one is that the end of Oh no, yes. No, there's one more.
Yeah, there's one more after this. Yeah.
No, there's one more set of cards that go well with Verge Rangers.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Not reprinted. So Lotus Field, like everyone said that card stinks. Then Verge Rangers comes in and says, no, it doesn't.
Well, it was part of a combo deck in Pioneer.
Was it? I missed that.
Yeah. It's like it works. It's like whole whatever the breach from Theros.
Oh, okay.
And like you like untap a land and then you can pay for the breach. And yeah, I watched. Yeah, Lotus Breach. There it is. Tim
Oh,
with the save. Thank
thank
you,
you.
Tim, in chat.
Is
Lotus
that
Breach.
banned now? I want to play that.
I don't know if I think it did get banned.
I want to say Through the Breach got banned. I don't know.
Look, well, no, this it's not. It's a different. It's the other breach. It's the one that's like gives all of your stuff. In your
Trayburn says not banned.
Okay, not banned. Okay.
So is TH. Both of them. Okay, so sweet. I may build that deck. So Lotus Field. It's a land. It has hexproof. It says Lotus Field enters the battlefield tapped. When Lotus Field enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 lands. Tap, add 3 mana of any one color. So you need to get some lands. This land does it.
Well, here's the deal, right? The turn after you play this, right? The turn after you play it, so it comes into play tap, so you don't get to use it the turn. It's like an old tap land. It's got Shroud or Hexproof or whatever, so it's gonna be pretty hard to kill.
Yeah.
And you're not down on mana, right? You sacrifice 2, but now this one adds 3. So the following turn, you have the same amount of mana that you would have had, but you have 2 less lands, which means you're gonna have less lands than your opponents, and it's really gonna be a way to ramp up with the Verge Rangers, right?
Agreed. So you wanna hit this next one, Ryan?
All right. So the next one, there's a cycle of 10 of these, and these are the Horizon Canopy lands, right? So the example I'll use here is Nurturing Peatland. It's a land you can spend. You tap, pay 1 life, add black or green to your mana pool, or 1 and tap, sacrifice Nurturing Peatland, draw a card, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, what this is going to let you do is play it like a land, and if nobody else gets ahead of you, go ahead and sack this to draw another card. Hopefully, hit a land on the top of your library, and then you basically just drew a free card. Right. Yep. I think these kind of cards pair super well with the Verge Rangers. And honestly, I think Lotus Field is really spicy too. Like, I think that's one of the better ones. You know, obviously Verge Rangers can't be your commander, but you know, Lotus Field, Lotus Field might make sense in a lot of decks. It doesn't have to be mono white. You can play it in pretty much anything. It's a really good color fixing. Like, you can cast Teferi Mage of Zhalfir off that one land.
I will say that Nurturing Peatland cannot cast Verge Rangers.
Well, you know what? I could put Horizon Canopy there. It's the same thing. It's just white or green.
I mean, I wish you had told me that. I'm just kidding. So our next card. Ryan, are you ready to move on to the next card?
Okay, so time for preview card the third, right?
The thirdning, and this so far we've had 2 rare. Or no, the next one's gonna be we've had an uncommon and a rare, and then our next rare, and this one's pretty sweet.
This one's super spicy,
yeah,
y'all.
It is. Every black deck I own needs this. Species Specialist.
All right, so I'll read out Species Specialist. It's 2 black for a 2/3 human warrior. As Species Specialist enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature type of the chosen type dies, you may draw a card.
So dope. Like, I really think that Wars of Humans is getting like such a boost in this set. Like, I think this would be great in that. So we definitely have some other cards that actually we have some special stuff. Stuff.
We should leave this on the screen just for a second, like kind of let it sink in, because I think this card's really sweet. And we've got a lot to say about this one. This is probably the one that has the most cards on the slides. I think this card is like really awesome, and I'll let you switch to the next screen. Go ahead.
I don't want to now.
Well, fine. We'll just keep looking at this beautiful card.
I'm gonna go back one.
Bluff called.
Yeah, I did. I went back one. All right. So I want to give a special thanks to Paul Scott Canavan. He's at a big bat on Twitter, and his website's paulscottcanavan.com. He did the art for this card, Species Specialist, and he sent us some of the pre-work that he did. Like, he sent some special sketches and whatnot.
It was super awesome of him to like reach out to us and say, hey guys, like, you can like share this with everybody. And I just think it's really cool to like see the process. Like, if you're an aspiring artist, like, hopefully you're going to check out the video here and see like what some of the early concept stuff looks like, and then there's like a render, and then we get to see like the final art. So I guess, what do you think, Zach? Move on to the next one.
Yep. We're asking for Tim Rayburn's asking for a recap of the spoiler card.
Oh, okay. Verge Ranger?
Yeah.
You want to go all the way back?
I'm
Can you
going
make it
all the way
happen?
back. Yep. All right, Verge Ranger. Here it is, Tim. I'll read it so it's not silent. Verge Rangers, two and a. What is this? What they call vamping, Ryan? Two and a white.
Yes, yes, it is.
Creature, human scout, 3/3. First strike. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as an opponent controls more lands than you, you may play lands from the top of your library. So 3/3. Yeah.
Super sweet. All right,
All
so
right.
let's move on.
Yeah. So species specialist. This is some concept art kind of deal. Obviously he didn't use that one on the bottom, but that looks like that could have been something pretty sweet too. I don't know. It makes me think of Garuk.
Yeah. Okay. So for the people listening, right, we gotta remember this is an audio show too.
That's why I was describing it.
I know that. So like on the bottom, yeah, there's a dude with like he's like almost got like the Wakanda salute thing going on.
Wakanda forever.
Swords or like razors and whatnot, and the top picture looks pretty close to where it ended up.
Yeah.
And there's like a spear there, but we've got a little bit more concept art to show here.
Yeah.
So let's like move it forward one.
So if you look at this, the top art is like a CGI kind of render, and then the bottom one is the full art. I think it's interesting. Like, I'm kind of curious to see I just wonder, like, you have the one, and then like I wonder if he's digitally adding those details that he did in the bottom one, or if that's something he's doing, like, I don't know, maybe prints this out and then paints on it or something. Like, I don't know. But
yeah,
I think it's cool.
Very interesting to. So what we're looking at here, the final art is like, to me, it's kind of reminiscent of like a Predator type thing, right? Like from Aliens vs Predators.
Okay, I was making
right?
sure. I didn't know what kind of Predator you meant.
And like it's kind of crouched, and there's like a blade with like some really bright red blood on it. And the thing I was curious about is like there's like a gold necklace there, and I'm wondering if that's like some sort of trophy from its prey or whatnot. I don't know, but I
feel like
I think it looks really sweet.
I do too. I think this person just killed Black Panther.
Oh man, that's horrible to think about.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have brought it up. Okay, moving on.
Wakanda will need a new prince,
right?
Or new king, right? Okay,
Zach.
So yeah. Let's talk about. Should we talk about the flavor text?
Yeah, let's talk about the flavor text.
I don't have anything against Snapdax. I'm just more of a dog person, so I'm not sure what a Snapdax is.
Let us know.
Maybe, you know what? There is
another card.
There's a card that makes dragon cat tokens. Maybe that's a Snapdax.
Maybe your mom's a Snapdax.
Oh yeah, and actually, so we've got AC Wolf here pointing out, and I did fail to mention this. There's some pretty sweet looking, like really long neck dinosaurs in the background of the art, and I think that's really awesome.
Oh yeah. Like you see in the background, there's the dinosaurs, and then like there's the trees that were originally there, and yeah, I think those details are awesome. But yeah, all right. So let's talk about what goes good with Species Specialist, shall we?
Okay, so again, clarification. Now we're going to talk about some cards that work really well with Species Specialist. None of these are reprints.
Couple of these are expensive.
Yeah. Shout out to the mothership.
Shout out to the mothership.
All right. So let's go. What's
the first one is one of my favorite. I mean, these I love the first two, and I thought the third one was a blue card when it was told to me. So the first one's 1 in a black for a tribal enchantment fairy. It's called Bitter Blossom. So Bitter Blossom, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create 1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. Dope. Dreadhorde Invasion, 1 in a black for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. We all know what that does. Whenever
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said all right.
No. There's more for you to read. I was going to jump in with the next one. I jumped the gun, as it were.
I got it, man. I got it. I think. Do I? Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains a lifelink until end of turn. This third card's dead to me, so Ryan, I'll let you read it.
All right, it's Ophiomancer. It's 2 in a black for a 2/2 human shaman. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you control no snakes, put a 1/1 black creature snake token with death touch onto the battlefield. And I have just one question for you, Zach.
What's up?
Why did it have to be snakes?
Get these snakes off my plane, bro. Just get them off.
I don't know. I think a Theomancer is fantastic, right? It has the ability
Yeah.
to make like one token every turn, and if you've got any sort of sack outlet, this happens each upkeep, right? So if you got the species specialist naming Snake, you know, you can kind of go crazy with this card, like getting an extra card, like 4 cards a turn, like that's amazing. Um, there's lots of good sack outlets. We're going to talk about a couple of them here coming up.
Yep.
But basically, like, you know, these other cards, the Dreadhorde Invasion and the Bitter Blossom, they make the same creature type over and over again every turn.
Yeah.
So they pair pretty well with the species specialist, because if stuff's gonna die, might as well be stuff that's all the same tribe and get to draw cards for it.
Word. So next up, we have Conspiracy and Arcane Adaptation. These are both more than 5 texts, more than 5 texts, so I would definitely counter them.
All right, so Arcane Adaptation is 2 and a blue, and it says, as Arcane Adaptation enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. And Conspiracy is pretty similar. It's 3 black for an enchantment. As Conspiracy comes into play, choose a creature type. Creatures you control and creature cards in your graveyard, hand, and library are of the chosen type. So these both pair really well. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
Ryan, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being my friend and also reading these cards with a lot of text.
You got it, buddy.
Thanks.
I'm trying for you. I'm trying.
Yeah, not only can I not math, I can't read either. Sorry. Surprise.
These cards like pair amazingly well with Species Specialist, right? Because now anytime anything dies. Also, I want to point out Species Specialist has a very specific words that are not on the card, which are non-token, right? So even tokens make this happen, and that's a huge part of why this card is so good.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
Okay. So we've got a bunch of cards coming up, don't we?
We do.
To talk about?
Yep. We've got Gravecrawler, Nadir Kraken, and Phyrexian Altar. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a combo, is it not?
Combo.
So you'll see this coming to a Zach deck soon.
Which one do you want to read?
Phyrexian Altar.
Okay, go for it.
Phyrexian Altar, 3, artifact. Sacrifice a creature, add 1 mana of any color.
All right, so we've got Gravecrawler. This is a single black mana for a 2/1 zombie. Gravecrawler can't block, and you may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie.
I think Gravecrawler's a little pricey too, so hit Lauren up.
Yeah, there you go. So let's talk about this here, right?
Should we talk about Nadir Kraken?
Yeah, let's read that too. Does that one got more than 4 lines of text? Do I need to read that too?
It's got exactly 4, so it's less than 5. So
you're on it.
All right. I'm on it. Nadir Kraken, 1 blue creature Kraken, 2/3. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a blue tentacle token. I love this card. It's so much fun on Arena.
Oh man, Nadir Kraken is a card I can totally get behind.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's going on here. This is a combo, right? Okay, so let's say you've got Nadir Kraken and you draw a card for turn. You can make a tentacle, right? And now you can sacrifice that tentacle to the Phyrexian Altar. And if you got Species Specialist in play naming tentacle, you draw a card. And you got a mana from the thing that you sacked, right?
Yep.
So guess what? Boop, 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 boop. Deck in your hand, gigantic octopus, right?
Yep.
Or Kraken, right? So
release the Kraken.
You can draw your entire deck. You can win with Laboratory Maniac or Thassa's Oracle or Labman Jace, whatever. And that's a pretty good use of tentacles, right?
Yeah.
Like basically the way I see this is the species
grabbing what you want.
Loves him some sushi.
Yeah. Sushi specialist.
All right. So here we go. Question: would Mr. OPC play this? Would I play this combo? Unlikely. I do like all of these cards. Of these cards, I think Nadir Kraken is my favorite, but I mean, Phyrexian Altar is really good too. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. And obviously, Gravecrawler is going to be very similar, right? As long as you have some other zombie, Gravecrawler can sack to the Phyrexian Altar to get a black mana, draw a card from Species Specialist, replay the Gravecrawler, boop, 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 draw your entire deck, right? And I think that's pretty fantastic.
I mean, that definitely seems like something I will play.
We should also say that if you had Ashnod's Altar here instead of Phyrexian Altar, That adds two. Like whenever you sacrifice a
Oh
creature,
yeah, that's
it adds two
too
colorless.
colorless. Yeah.
If you pair that with Nadir Kraken, you can actually generate mana while drawing your
Infinite
deck.
mana.
Well, not necessarily infinite unless you have some way to like discard some giant Eldrazi to
Well,
like
I
shuffle your
mean,
deck back
not
in or something.
okay, not infinite, but a pretty good amount of mana.
Enough mana. Okay, so that's pretty sweet.
Yep.
What's next?
We got Indrik Sar, Master Breeder, the Locust God, and Pawn of Ulamog. Ryan,
All right.
take it away.
All right, so Endrick Sar, Master Breeder, is 4 and a black for a 2/2 human wizard. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put X 1/1 black throw creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. When you control 7 or more thralls, sacrifice Endrick Sar, Master Breeder. Well, here's the good thing about thralls. You can just keep sacking them, right? And getting cards with the species specialist, right? I think it's this is actually a commander deck that might want to like specifically put species specialists in it. Like if Endrick Sar is your jam, right? If he's the lead singer of your commander deck, I think this is a snap include here.
Yeah.
Are you going to read either Pawn of Ulamog or Locust God?
I'll read Pawn of Ulamog, I think.
All right, go for it.
Pawn of Ulamog is 1 black for a 2/2 creature vampire shaman. Whenever Pawn of Ulamog or another creature you control dies, you may create a 0/1 colors Eldrazi spawn creature token. It has sacrifice this creature, add 1 mana to your mana pool, or with sushi specialist out, you can draw
Nice.
a card.
Yeah, and so I mean, like, and those actually have like sacrificing built into them, right?
Yeah.
Like and you get mana, right? So like that seems like a really cool way to like draw a whole bunch of cards, get a bunch of mana, and do some really crazy things in Commander, right? Okay, so the Locust God is here, and it is 4 blue-red for a 4/4 legendary creature god with flying. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. You can spend 2 blue-red to draw a card and then discard a card. And when the Locust God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So the thing that's amazing here is every insect that you make, if you have some way to sacrifice it, and the species specialist is set to insect, you're going to draw another card.
Yep.
Well, the best thing there is that card draw makes another insect, right?
Yep.
Whoop, 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 whoop. It goes crazy really quickly. I don't know. I think this is really, really cool. And Grixis is a color combination that I love to run. It's one of my favorites. Like, honestly, I think it's like right below Sultai. It's like Sultai and then Grixis. Maybe Teamer. I don't know. Teamer's really good too.
What color is Grixis?
Grixis is red, black, blue.
And what is Teamer?
Teamer's green, blue, red.
Isn't green, blue, red called something else now?
I guess there are new names. I don't know them yet. And I'm probably just going to keep calling the cards by their old wedge.
I'm going to just keep... Those aren't wedges. Those are... No, those are wedges. And I'm still going to keep asking you what the wedges are.
All right. Well, that's why I'm happy to help, buddy.
Wedge of pizza.
No problem.
Wedge of pizza. All right. So what do we got going next?
Okay, we've got a couple more cards to talk about here, I think, right?
Yep. They will show up on Ryan's screen momentarily, but I'll read them off. Undead Augur, Relentless Dead, and Viscera Seer.
All right, so we'll start with Viscera Seer. This is a single black mana for a 1/1 vampire wizard with sacrifice a creature, scry 1. It's a way to get rid of the creatures that you want to die, and you get to scry and draw a card, and I believe you can put the triggers on the stack in any order there, so you could scry first and then draw the card. So you're basically getting like opt there, which is fantastic.
Pretty legit. You got Undead Augur, black, creature zombie wizard. Ooh, wizard. It's a 2/2. Whenever Undead Augur or another zombie you control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life.
And I noticed you left me Relentless Dead, which definitely has more than 5 lines of text. So Relentless
you're welcome.
Dead is
all I can say is you're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome to read off the Relentless Dead. A black and a black for a 2/2 zombie. Okay, I'll stop.
I didn't know Michael Bublé was going to be on the show. That's awesome. You should go on this. I've been watching this Masked Singer show with my mom and my sister. Like, these are people with masks. Yeah, like Max's panda costume from their earlier video, and like they sing, and then like they have to guess who people are. You should go on that, dude.
Oh yeah, I definitely should. All right, so let's
I'll talk to Kim Jong. We know each other.
Oh,
because we're both Asian.
it's
an Asian fraternity. All right, what's Relentless Dead do?
It is black for a 2/2 creature zombie with menace. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay black. If you do, return it to its owner's hand. Okay, fantastic, right? If you got zombies going on, the species specialist, along with being friends with the sushi tentacles, also really good friends with the zombies. There's some more text on the Relentless Dead here, which is when Relentless Dead dies, you may pay. We good? You may pay X. If you do, return another target zombie creature card.
No.
What? What's happening? Okay, so we're still giving audio to the listeners at home, right? Okay, well, yep. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're talking about Relentless Dead here, right? So when Relentless Dead dies, you may pay X. If you do, return another target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so there you have it, right? This card goes great. You can get this in Gravecrawler, Viscera Seer to sacrifice your board. It just seems amazing, right? Like this is all the things I want to be doing in Magic, right? I want to like sacrifice a bunch of dudes, draw a bunch of cards, and get into these loops where the dudes I'm sacking bring back other dudes. Like that just seems awesome, right? So are we still in a Ryan needs to vamp kind of moment here? Is that what's happening? Do we have an ETA? Like how much time do I need to fill here? Should I go back through chat and see if I can find some questions? Chat, hook us up with some questions. The first question is hashtag get Big John in here. I don't believe so. I don't know if I can see that. Can I see that? Even if he did, I'm not sure that I would know his handle. So I'm gonna go with no on that. There's first question down. Yes, indeed. Okay. So what still working on it. All right. So we've also got some other friends in the chat here. Also, I just wanted to go on a kind of a little bit of a tangent here. And that is to say that this is something we've never done before, right? This is a live show. We are interacting with chat, we are showing cards on the screen, but we're also planning on releasing this as an audio only episode, and we're going to try to release it as a video on YouTube as well. And basically, what I want to know from audience land out there is this episode good? And if so, how did you consume it? Right? If you were on the stream and you were like, yeah, the stream was awesome, and then like you didn't listen to the other stuff, that's fantastic, right? I don't think I would go and do that. But if you're listening to the audio only, how is it, right? Is this something you want to see more of us doing in the future, right? This is something that I really want to know, because we want to give you what you want to consume, right? Like that's the goal of being a content creator. We want to like make content that everybody likes. So whichever way you consume this, please let us know. Your feedback really matters. It's really important to us, and you know, it just really helps out. So it looks like we might be back
Working
from
on
our
it.
technical difficulties.
So I've definitely seen Joe. Tell him what it is. That card that I want to build.
Are we talking about Sharknado?
No. What's that Sultai card that I want to build? With mutate and you can cast out of your graveyard. I don't know.
You know what? I think I've got that in another slide here somewhere.
Sweet, Joe.
Right?
Link it up in the chat.
Is that? Oh no, it's not. It's not one of the. It's actually one of the Ikoria layer of behemoths. So let's go over to Scryfall. Kind of tried to sing that as if it was like a Bond theme.
Oh yeah, I did. I did catch that. I like it. I mean, it's not like that. I think that site was named after that movie. I think. I don't know.
I mean, if not, missed opportunity.
Right. Or they should just claim it afterwards. Like.
All right. Also, so the teamer wedge is called Ketria here in this shard, as I am finding here, and the card that Zach wants to build around is called Brokos, Apex of Forever, which is 2 black, green, blue for a 6/6 legendary creature, Nightmare Beast Elemental, with mutate for 2 hybrid Dimir symbol, green, green. That's 5 mana total, 1 of it being black or blue, 2 of it being green, and 2 being anything else. It's got trample, and you may cast Brokos, Apex of Forever, from your graveyard using its mutate ability. So it can't just like keep coming back unless you've got another non-human creature token to put it onto. But that's a pretty sweet card, and I do love me some Sultai Legends.
Same. Let's see any other questions we want to do. Ryan, how would you personally fight a shark?
By running away, or I guess swimming away.
No way, dude.
Unless it's one of the new flying sharks.
No, you use.
I don't know if you guys saw that shark bird. It's insane.
No, dude, you use the bat shark spray. Haven't you seen Batman?
Oh yeah. In my utility belt, I've got the bat
exactly.
shark repellent. Psh, psh, get it out of here. Actually, from what I hear, actually, like worst case scenario situation, right? Like the survival thing, you're supposed to punch it in the nose. That's what I've heard.
Word. That's what I would do.
But you know what? I've never fought a shark, so I don't want to tell our listeners.
Yeah, you
want
to lead them astray.
Hey,
Ryan's not gonna punch a shark.
To punch.
Yeah,
like what's going on?
So we have one last card to preview. Ryan, do you want to say a few things?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so this card,
it's not showing right now. So
it's not showing. This card means that somebody at Wizards listens to us, because this is one heck of a jab at you, Zach.
I disagree with them. Well, they definitely listen to us, but I think I'm gonna show it now, giving us this card to reveal. I think somebody at WotC hates me. For those of you who may not have heard it yet, in a previous episode, I discussed how WotC was targeting me with Boros cards when I got another stained glass Nahiri in my secret lair, and now they have given us this Nahiri the Harbinger. She's
Harbinger. Yep.
Sure. 2 red white for a legendary planeswalker Nahiri. It's 4 loyalty +2. You can discard a card. If you do, draw a card like that. -2. Exile target enchantment, tapped artifact or tapped creature. I like that. -8. Search your library for an artifact or creature card. Put it in the battlefield, then shuffle your library. It gains haste. Return it to your hand at the beginning of your turn. Next in step. Sorry. I don't care for that. If this card were
you don't care for that? How do you not care for that? I don't understand.
I don't know. You're never gonna get to 8.
Well, yeah, you probably won't, but if you do, that's a pretty sweet ability.
Whatever, it's a bunch of text. I mean, if this card were any other colors, if these were colors just single red or single white, or white blue, I'd play this. But morally, I can't handle it. Like, I don't know. I think WotC's throwing some shade. I think I'm gonna rebel by continuing to buy their products from the mothership. And I don't know, man. Like I saw this, I opened the email and I was like looking through the cards, and I'm doing a scrolling thing, and I was like looking through the cards, and I was like, yeah, what? Like, I think that honestly, Ryan, I'm gonna write a letter. No, this is my.
Is it gonna be a sternly worded letter?
No, it's going to be. I'm just gonna do it on live. If I die of weird circumstances, talk to WotC.
Oh, investigate is what you're saying.
Yeah, investigate.
Okay.
If I die,
Right.
if like my car, I've been watching Designated Survivor, and people are dying in weird ways in that show, and if it could be a conspiracy or something.
Well, yeah. So what you got to do is you got to get like a manila envelope and like put some really important documents in there and like have prepaid postage on it and like have it stored with somebody to send to the press.
Okay, dude. I'm gonna mail you some stuff.
Oh, so I'm your okay. That makes sense. Yep, that's on brand. Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
So this is actually a really exciting read.
Yeah,
right.
It really
like
is.
jokes aside, this card is actually really sweet.
It is.
I actually run it in one of my own personal commander decks, and it's really fantastic in there.
Is it straight up Boros?
No, it's Mardu.
What's the
which is Boros with black. So it's white, red, black.
I do like.
I'm still getting a head shake on that.
I'll allow it this time.
Okay, so it's Alessia who smiles at death, and I don't know if that's on the first slide. So
it
is. So by the way, thank you everybody for being here. That is our last preview card. That's all 4, right? So we got the Martial Impetus, we got the Verge Rangers, we got the Species Specialist, and we got Nahiri the Harbinger. So that's kind of the recap.
Yep.
So this first slide here is some commanders that can run Nahiri. And we did go out to edhrec.com to look up some of this data. So one of the most popular was Bruce Taro, Boris Herder. 2 red white for a 3/3 legendary creature human ally. Whenever Bruce Tarl Boorish Herder enters the battlefield or attacks, target creature you control gains double strike and lifelink until end of turn. And it has partner, so you can get up to 4 colors with Bruce if you want to, or you can just straight Boros if you want to do that too.
Nobody wants to do that, Ryan. Nobody.
I mean, you can pair Bruce with a Kiri Lineswinger and keep it Boros, all the time. It is fun to get you. Okay, so Nahiri goes really well with Bruce Tarl, right? Because you fetch out some big giant creature, and then Bruce gets to attack, and then the creature that you brought in with haste gets double strike and lifelink. That's crazy, right? Like, that's really good.
Yep.
Okay.
Alesha Who Smiles at Death is pretty sweet. It's 2 red for Legendary Creature Human Warrior. Alesha is a 3/2 that says first strike. Whenever Alesha Who Smiles at Death attacks, you may pay Orzhov. If you do, return target.
So that's white, black, or white.
Yes. Why you gotta put anyway? If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. That's pretty sweet. I don't know. I kind of like that card. I would play that card. Do you have one of these a deck with Alesha?
I do. It's a really fun deck. I've had it for a long time. Actually, I was inspired to build it by the professor from Solarian Community College.
So would you say that you net deck this?
No, I definitely took some ideas and made it my own. But
I don't want to play this then.
Okay, because yeah, it's Ryan's deck. I mean, I will say this: I have zero problem with net decking. Actually, we have an episode called Joys of Net Decking.
Totally,
I love
fine.
to do it. So, but I just didn't want people out there to get the wrong impression.
No, I was saying I wanted you to have net decked it so that I could play it. I didn't want to play a Ryan special.
Oh, so you're throwing shade my way.
Yeah, about your deck building.
Well, that's all right, because you know what? I like fighting in the shade, right? And we can do that tonight.
With your shirt off. that's how real adults fight. You take the shirts off.
Okay, so let's talk about why let's talk about why Nahiri is good in Alesha and why I included it in my version of Alesha. The +2 is really good, right? You need fuel in the graveyard for Alesha, right? And for 4 mana, you come down, you have 6 loyalty and probably a way to protect Nahiri. And there are some cards that you really want to bring in with Alesha. You don't want to cast them the hard way, like Master of Cruelties. So you really do want some discard outlets in the deck. And it also doubles as enchantment and artifact kill, right? People's mana rocks run away scared when they see this card, which, I don't know. This card's really awesome. It's a mythic when it was printed in Shadows over Innistrad. And I love this card, and I think it goes really well in those. You want to hit us up with the next one, Zach?
I don't recognize that card.
All right, so we've got Aurelia the War Leader, which is 2 red, white for a 3/4 legendary creature angel.
Great commander for Swords.deck.
That is true.
TH, you would love PJ's Aurelia Swords.deck.
So she's a 3/4 with flying, vigilance, and haste. Whenever Aurelia the War Leader attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So totally fine in Aurelia the War Leader as well. That's just a really popular Boros deck, and Nahiri's just a really good Boros card. And I know, Zach, that you recognize that as as not true because I said really good at Boros card.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get on our YouTube stream, I streamed the war, a video called The War on Boros, where I give my true feelings about Aurelia the War Leader. More like Aurelia the Boar Leader.
Aurelia the Boros Leader.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so no, I don't know. So we've got another couple cards here that work pretty well with Nahiri, so let's go ahead and hit them up.
These cards I love. You got Blind Obedience, 1 and a white, enchantment, Extort. For those of you at home, whenever you cast a spell, you may pay an Orzhov, which is, a black or a white mana. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain that much life. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. So I feel like you put this thing down, and then you have it in your basically like when what's her name comes down. If you get to +8, no, Yeah, if you plus 8 Nahiri somehow, if you get to 8, never gonna get there. You're the board's clear possibly for you to attack someone.
Well, the other thing is her -2 only destroys tapped artifact or tapped creature or
Oh
tapped
yeah, that
or
too.
target
Yeah, yeah,
enchantment.
yeah.
So
I already
with blind
forgot. Sorry.
obedience, the creature's coming to play tapped. So like, there's no way around it, right? Like, if you want to kill something, it has to come into play tapped. So it's always going to be vulnerable on that very first turn to Nahiri. So that's a pretty sweet
What about
combo. The
enchantments?
other enchantments don't have to be tapped because most enchantments don't tap.
I know. I was just kidding.
So the other card that's very similar, or in a similar vein, is Authority of the Consuls. This is a single white mana for an enchantment. It says creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. So again, it's just another card that goes great with Nahiri. You know,
Yep.
if you're, and honestly, like, Blind Obedience is an insane Magic card.
Yeah.
Every time I play against it, I'm like, oh my god, this card is wrecking me every single time. Like against my Perforos deck, it just like completely shuts it down. You're like, oh yeah, now my deck doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
right?
like, and somehow I managed to stick like a turn 2 or turn 3 blind obedience like every time I happen to be playing white. I feel like, and Ryan loves it.
Yes, you do. I do not love it. I despise it. Okay, so what's on the next slides? What do we got to talk about?
Did you already talk about Authority of Consoles?
I did.
Okay. We got these are some Ryan cards. We got Emrakul the Promise End, Blightsteel Colossus, and Sun Titan.
All right.
Go
ahead.
Which one do you want to read?
I'll start with Emrakul. So this is
Cool.
a 13 mana, 13/13 legendary creature Eldrazi. And Emrakul the Promised End costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. When you cast Emrakul, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes an extra turn. And Flying Trample protection from instants, just by the by. Emrakul is like probably like the best thing to grab with Nahiri. Now, you notice that the cast trigger is the taking the turn. So when you do it with Nahiri, you're not casting it, you're just putting it into play. So you don't get the cast trigger. However, it's a 13/13 Flying Trample protection from instants.
Does it have haste?
You get to ultimate, Nahiri gives it haste.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
And then here's the best part, right? When you're done hitting somebody for 13 or however much minus their flying toughness in the air, you return Emrakul back to your hand. So that next turn when you play it, if you can get to enough mana to play it, you do get to take somebody's turn. I don't know. That's beautiful. Like those two cards like go together so well.
Agreed. Another sweet target to get is Blightsteel Colossus. I've been wanting one of these for a while, but these are pricey. I don't know. I may have to get one of these from the mothership. Blightsteel Colossus is 12 mana for an 11/11 artifact creature golem. It has trample and my favorite, Infect. Blightsteel Colossus is also indestructible. If Blightsteel Colossus would put into a graveyard from your anywhere, reveal Blightsteel Colossus and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. Interesting. Yeah, man, going to get Blightsteel is that's a legit power move. Especially
if Nahiri gets to 8 somehow, and there are lots of cards in white that can give extra loyalty too. Like there's Oath of Gideon or whatever, right? There's a bunch of ways to do it. If you can just get a Blightsteel out there, probably one person's losing that turn.
Yeah, for sure. Because 11 Infect kills you, I hear.
It by 1 extra. So okay. Yep. So the last card on here is Sun Titan, Sunny T. 4 white for a 6/6 creature giant with vigilance. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with a converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This card's insane with Nahiri if you go fetch it up, right? Because you get to put it into play, you get to return something from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then it's got haste. You get to attack with it right away. Return a second something, right? A fetch land, some sort of like seal of cleansing, whatever, right? Your Authority of the Consuls that they killed earlier, right? There's so many great utility things to bring back with Sun Titan, and it's going to get 2 the turn you do it with Nahiri, and the next turn you're going to play it again because it bounced back to your hand, and you're going to get that trigger again. And it's going to dodge sorcery speed removal that way, right? You're going to get 2 things, and it's going to be back in your hand, and if they wrath, there's Sunny T ready to come down and get it back again. The only thing that would be better was if Nahiri somehow costed 1 less, and you could get it back with the Sun Titan trigger. That'd be amazing. But yeah, so these are cards that we think go really well. We've got a comment from chat here. The Eligor says, I just realized that an excellent card to combo with the Goad enchant creature, Martial Impetus, is War's Toll. War's Toll is 3 and a red for an enchantment. It says, whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, tap all lands that player controls. If a creature an opponent controls attacks, all creatures that opponent control attack if able. So there you go. That's another way to force people's things, their creatures to attack. With War's Toll, they can attack you with everything but the goaded one, but still a very cool include. Yep. And the mana hampering on that card's pretty sweet too. Like, that is definitely a red card I could see myself playing. Okay, so do we have any more Nahiri friends here?
Nope, that's all we got for Nahiri. So check your text messages, Ryan. I'm going to talk about some stuff here. You know, Emrakul, she's got tentacles. They're pretty big. Imagine you get choked out. I'd watch an anime about some legendary Eldrazi's.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah. Tentacles and Eldrazi are things that would be displayed in anime often, right? So
yeah, I think so too. So
it's time to ask chat, right?
Yeah,
it's time, right? We kind of did that with the Eligor. Thank you for the suggestion,
yeah.
Eligor. That was fantastic. So of these 4 cards, which is your favorite? Right, we want to like see some folks answer that question. As well, we want to know: do you have any commander decks that you are likely to put these cards in?
Yeah.
Right. And it maybe not, you know, I think we should like kind of restrict this to like the original 4. If you have other cards like War's Toll that goes well with any of these cards, right? If you want to like you know flex on the intern and show him like, hey, here's something you didn't think about. That's fantastic too. He's in chat. He won't mind. So yeah. So hit us up with your questions. And also just tell us which one of these is your favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Zach, do you want to tell them your favorite first?
I would say my favorite is probably Species Specialist. Like, when I first looked at these, I was just like, oh yeah, I could do something dumb with this. What about you, Ryan? Which is your favorite?
All right, well, that's a very good question. So Species Specialist, I think, is the most powerful card amongst the group. I do love tribal strategies. So, you know, if you're not including some way to like bounce the Species Specialist and change it, you know, with like a crystal shard, say, or something else, you could just put it in a zombie deck. You could just put it in a Saproling deck, right? Like helmed by a Slimefoot, whatever, right? So I think it's just a good all-around playable card. I think I'm more excited for Verge Rangers.
You think so?
Just for the simple fact that this card, people in chat were talking about it earlier, right? Oh, there goes Ryan playing from the top of his library again. I love doing that, right? And I love that it's a place where we're kind of shoring up a little bit of White's deficiencies, and that makes me excited too, right? There's lots of ways to draw cards in Black. There are not a lot of ways to put cards from the top of your library onto the battlefield in White decks. So I think that's why I've got Verge Rangers at the top of my list, although Species Specialist is right underneath it. And also, again, a huge shout out to Paul Scott Canavan for sharing with us that concept art. It was really cool, like to kind of tell the story for the folks while we're getting some questions in chat. Blake, when he sent us the preview cards, and then like later on, a little bit later, he's like, hey, also, the artist actually wants to talk to you guys. So here's an introduction. And he like sent an email to both of us. And that was so cool. So Blake, thank you so much for doing that. Paul, thank you so much for sharing with us. It was really neat to just like get to talk to the person and get to see stuff, right? Like, yeah, like that's like something that you like any website you go to that's going to be showing off our preview cards, you're going to see the cards, right? You're not going to get to see
that behind the look art. Yeah, like I think the process of how like I watch Howard Lyons does these like speed videos or sped up videos of him painting things on Twitter, and it's just nuts to watch him go through his process of painting it. And sometimes he'll like just put paint on, and you're like, what is that gonna be? And you're like, oh my gosh, that ends up being something crazy. And like, I don't know, getting that behind the scenes look is super awesome. Zurin Orb, Tim. Zurin Orb, that's an artifact that costs 0, I believe. Has a tree with a jar with some moss in it.
Yeah, and you can sacrifice a land to gain 2 life.
Yeah,
it used to be a classic include with like balance, right?
Yeah.
So that
balance is banned, right?
It is.
Okay. I knew there was a reason. I knew there was a reason I wasn't playing that card because I know I have a bunch of them.
Yeah, and well, it's really cheap now too for that reason.
Lame.
So we've got Tim Rayburn saying Verge Rangers is his choice for the best card as well, or his favorite, right? I think that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think that these cards are insane. Like these are the coolest previews we've ever gotten to give, and again, huge shout out to Wizards of the Coast for helping us out and giving us these preview cards for free. It was I don't know, like when it happened, it was just the best thing ever. And then like getting to share this live and try this new experiment,
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
it's crazy, right?
It's gone way better than expected. Like we've had minimal mess ups.
Yeah, you know what? And I think this will be a listenable audio episode. But again, folks out there in audience land, let us know because we really, you know, this is something I can envision us doing again for special occasions. I will say, I want to give, I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, Zach, hats off to you.
Thank
you did an amazing job setting this all up. You really should take a bunch of credit here. You put in so much effort and time here, and I don't think that the folks at home know what it takes to put this on and come up with the slideshows and do these layouts and stuff. So seriously, man, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm happy to do it. Do it for the listeners. Try to give them the best. Oh snap! It's Max.
What up? Max from CMDR Central.
Right. Max, are you wearing the panda head? Lag.
Okay, so
Cool.
we've got Craig here, Scragnoth. I think that might be his Twitter handle too. Saying that the Goat enchantment, Martial Impetus, is made for Gahiji the Honored One. So I'll read Gahiji out here. This is a fantastic deck. It's 2 red, green, white. I used to have it. It's a 4/4 legendary creature beast. Whenever a creature attacks one or more of your opponents or a planeswalker an opponent controls, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I used to love this. I was like, well, you know what? You can go wide with Gahiji, make a bunch of tokens yourself, and you could put the Martial Impetus on one of your creatures and then buff your whole team, right? Or you can put it on somebody else's creature. It's goaded. It has to attack. And if Gahiji's in play, it's going to get so it's going to be getting +3/+1, and they're going to be incentivized to attack. Like, let's just say they have 4 1/1s and you put that enchantment on there, right? Okay. So now they've got a 2/2 and 3 1/1s. When they attack, you're going to get 4 more power. So that's 9. And then Gahiji's going to add another 8. So that's like 17 from 4 1/1s, which is pretty crazy. Chat, you can check my math on that. I'm not sure. But yeah, Gahiji's a sweet card to put Martial Impetus in, a sweet commander to put it in.
Naya, huh? Naya. Was that green, white,
red?
Okay.
So that, you know what? That's 3 out of 4. That's pretty good, right? 3 out of 4 of our preview cards can be played in a Naya deck.
Yes.
2 mono whites and a Boros. Okay, so it looks like chat's kind of winding down. We haven't had a lot of other folks in there, so we don't want to keep it going too long for the audio episode. So I think it's time to wrap it up. What do you think, Zach?
I think so. I think we're definitely at that episode, in part of the episode. Again, we want to thank Mothership Books and Games for being a great place to play Magic. Hopefully we'll be there again soon playing Magic with folks. But they have a store where you can pre-order Ikoria stuff. It's store.mothershipatx.com. They have the affiliate codes: social ship for free shipping on orders of $50 or more, and social 10 for 10% off in-stock MTG singles.
Yep. All right. So it's really awesome to see that. And again, I just want to urge everyone out there that's listening or watching this, please support your local game store if you can in any fashion. It is so awesome that Mothership is moving to the online sales, and they actually just released a video this evening where Lauren actually talks about and walks through how to use their store and stuff. And I retweeted it from the Commander Social account. So if you want to go check that out, you can find it on our Twitter. And they are a fantastic store. I've been going there for years before either of my children were born. It's a very special place, and if you can support them, now is the time to do that.
For sure. And these codes are on a tweet that we put out from the main account, and we'll retweet that periodically. So what does that bring us to, Ryan?
And I would just say, if you're gonna buy all the commander decks, that's definitely gonna cost a little more than $50. So get some free shipping. Right. I would do that.
I would too.
I am gonna do that. Okay.
Right.
So all right.
We got our super pages.
We want to give a shout out to our super patrons, right? So one of the things for our patron is you can join at a tier where you get your name at the end of our videos, and normally we just kind of have that there. It's not necessarily in the audio episodes, and in this coronavirus times, Zach and I have been remote, so we aren't making videos, right? Because normally it's really hard to do a remote video setup. The stream is okay.
Yeah, the stream works.
There's still a bit of lag, and
yeah,
we haven't been doing the videos, and so we haven't been able to really shout these folks out. So I want to take a really huge moment here to mention our 2 super patrons. They have contributed greatly, and their love for us and concern and care is amazing. So huge shout out to Andy, Mr. Big Ben's Bentley, your 7-piece combo guy. He has been our super patron forever. Andy, we love you, man. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable what you do for us. So thank you very much. And our other person at that tier is JC Card Tyrant Davidson, and he's been a super patron for a while. He streams a lot. We try to retweet his streams when he goes live. He streams Arena. So
he's at Card Tyrant on Twitter.
That's right. That's what I was about to say. So go hit him up and check out his stream if you can. That'd be fantastic. Okay. So that is and actually Andy is at Ben's Mister. If you want to hit him up on Twitter. So that's the super patrons. So I think next up we got to tell everyone out there at home how they can get a hold of us if they want to, right?
Yep.
So if you want to hit me up, I'm at Green Geek on Twitter.
I'm at Z4CK38, and together we're at Commander Social. So.
And during these times, if you want to become a patron, or if you liked this experiment and you want to give us feedback, you can join us at patreon.com/commandersocial. You can get in our Discord. You can talk to us.
Yep.
We appreciate that feedback so much. And again, I also want to say, this is a time of hardship for everyone, right? So the fact that you can give during this time is amazing. And by the way, if you have to drop down or you can't give during this time, we understand.
No worries, right? Whatsoever.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and family first.
So many people out there are unemployed or having financial difficulties. So we just want everyone out there to know that we are thinking about you. We are sending good vibes your way, and we'll get through this.
Yeah,
we will.
For sure. And like I've said before, and Ryan feels the same way, if you need somebody to talk to or something like that, definitely my DMs are open. Hit me up. I'm definitely happy to listen and be there for any of our listeners or fans. And I feel like Ryan's the same way.
I have opened my DMs as well. My DMs are slidable. You can slide
in.
All right. So I think that's it, right?
Yep.
That's it. Okay.
Oh wait, no. We gotta thank our listeners, other listeners and viewers.
Oh,
one more time.
Fair enough.
We gotta thank them.
Always, right?
Yeah.
So everyone out in the audience land, thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. This stream was insane. This was so much fun.
It was pretty awesome.
There was a lot of people here, and you know what? Every day when you interact with us on Twitter, it makes me feel more connected. It makes it easier for me to go through this time.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate it. Seriously.
Yep. So,
all right. So that's good. That's going to do it for this week.
Yep.
So until next time, this is Ryan.
And this is Zach saying,
keep
it social.